there is a truth that the Shaolin masters have carried for centuries. The power to change your entire life does not take years. It takes one conscious day. One single day where you decide to no longer live on autopilot, to no longer be enslaved by your emotions or your habits. The Shaolin secret to rewiring your mind in just 24 hours begins with awareness. Awareness is the sword that cuts through illusion. Most people live half awake, reacting, complaining, worrying, but never truly seeing. The first step to rewiring your mind is to see what is happening inside it. When you wake up in the morning, do not reach for your phone. Do not rush. Sit in silence and observe your thoughts as they appear. Ask yourself who is thinking. What is this voice inside me? This simple act of awareness begins to separate you from your thoughts. You start to realize that you are not your mind. You are the observer behind it. And once that separation is made, change becomes possible. The next step is stillness before action. Before the Shaolin warrior strikes, there is stillness. Before the mind can be clear, it must be calm. So throughout your day, stop several times and take one deep breath. Inhale slowly, exhale completely. Feel the air enter and leave your body. These pauses are not small, they are everything. They reset the nervous system, they calm the storm, and they remind you that peace is a choice, not a reward. Through stillness, your actions become deliberate instead of impulsive, and your energy begins to align with purpose rather than distraction. Then comes intention. Your mind is a mirror that reflects whatever you feed it. If you fill it with fear, it will show you reasons to be afraid. If you fill it with gratitude, it will show you miracles. The Shaolin way is to plant strong seeds of intention every morning. Before the day begins, ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to bring into this day? Discipline, compassion, focus. Then live as if that energy already flows through you. The world will start to reflect what you project. Transformation happens when you stop reacting and start responding. Every challenge, every insult, every frustration, these are not obstacles, they are invitations. Invitations to test your inner control. The Shaolin path teaches that your outer world is only a reflection of your inner one. When something disturbs you, do not fight it immediately. Observe, breathe, then respond with clarity, not emotion. In that moment, you are no longer a slave to the world around you, you become its master. Finally, the discipline of one day. Do not promise to change your life forever. Promise to master this one day. Wake up with intention. Move with awareness. Speak with kindness. Act with purpose. And when the day ends, reflect. What did I learn about my mind today? What did I overcome? The Shaolin path is not about perfection, it is about presence. And when you can master your presence for one single day, you have already begun to rewire your mind for a lifetime. Remember, transformation does not happen in the future. It happens in this moment, now. Every breath is a new beginning, every thought a new path. The Shaolin secret is not hidden in temples or scrolls. It is hidden within you. Would you like me to expand each keynote point into 500 words next as you usually request? The mind is like a river, constantly moving, endlessly flowing, filled with waves of thoughts, emotions, and impulses. Most people are carried away by this current without even realizing it. They wake up, and before their feet touch the ground, their minds are already spinning, thinking about yesterday's mistakes, today's worries, tomorrow's problems. This is not living, this is drifting. Awareness is the art of stopping that drift. It is the ability to step out of the current and stand on the riverbank, watching the flow of thoughts without being swept away by them. This is the first and most essential step in rewiring your mind. When you become aware, you begin to see how your mind truly operates. You notice how a single negative thought can shape your entire mood, how one memory can drain your energy, how one worry can consume your attention. Awareness is not about control, it is about clarity. You cannot control what you do not see. Once you start observing your thoughts as they appear, you realize something profound. You are not your thoughts. They are simply passing clouds in the vast sky of your consciousness. You are the sky itself, limitless, clear, and still. In Shaolin philosophy, awareness is the foundation of mastery. Without awareness, strength becomes aggression, speed becomes chaos, and the body becomes a cage. With awareness, every movement becomes deliberate. Every breath becomes sacred. This is why the monks train not only the body, but also the mind. They know that a distracted mind cannot control even the smallest motion, but a focused mind can command every fiber of existence. To cultivate awareness, start with simple observation. When you wake up, do not immediately engage with the noise of the world. Sit still for 1 minute. Notice the air on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the movement of your thoughts. Throughout the day, catch yourself when your mind wanders, when you complain, judge, or worry. Do not punish yourself, simply notice. Every time you notice, you weaken the old patterns that control you. Awareness creates a space between thought and action, and in that space lies your freedom. Most people believe change takes time, but awareness shows that change can happen in an instant. The moment you become conscious of a destructive thought, it begins to lose its power. You are no longer its victim, you are its witness. This shift is the beginning of transformation. The mind cannot enslave what you are aware of. Awareness rewires your brain by creating new neural pathways, ones that favor presence over distraction, calm over chaos, understanding over reaction. So if you want to rewire your mind in just 24 hours, start here. Make awareness your first practice. From the moment you open your eyes to the moment you rest, watch your thoughts with gentle curiosity. Do not fight them, do not feed them, just observe. In this simple yet profound act, your inner world begins to reorganize itself. You start to live with intention rather than impulse. And that is the true power of awareness, the key that unlocks mastery over the mind and opens the door to a life of peace, clarity, and control. In a world that glorifies speed, noise, and constant movement, stillness has become one of the rarest forms of strength. Yet the true masters of mind and body understand that real power does not come from constant motion. It comes from stillness before motion. Stillness is not the absence of action, it is the preparation for right action. It is the quiet before the strike, the breath before the word, the pause before the decision. This stillness is what gives your actions direction, purpose, and clarity. Without it, even your strongest efforts can become scattered and ineffective. To rewire your mind, you must first train it to be still. Most people live like a drum that never stops beating, reacting to everything, pushed and pulled by the chaos of thoughts and emotions. They act before they understand, speak before they listen, move before they see. This is how confusion and regret are born. Stillness teaches you to slow down, to create space between impulse and response. When you master this space, you begin to act with intention rather than habit. You begin to live consciously, instead of being driven unconsciously. Stillness is not only physical, it is mental. You can sit perfectly still and yet be consumed by noise inside your head. True stillness happens when your attention settles into the present moment. When you focus on your breath, your heartbeat, or the sensations in your body, you start to ground yourself in reality. The endless chatter of the mind begins to fade, and you reconnect with the silence beneath it. In that silence, wisdom appears. Insight arises. You begin to see things clearly, not as you wish they were, but as they are. This is why in Shaolin training, movement and stillness are equally important. Before a warrior strikes, he stands motionless. He listens to his body, feels his balance, observes his breath. The stillness is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the gathering of energy, focus, and awareness. The moment action is required, it flows effortlessly because the mind is centered and calm. This principle applies to every aspect of life. Before sending a message, take one deep breath. Before reacting to anger, pause for 3 seconds. Before making a decision, sit quietly and feel what your intuition tells you. These moments of stillness will save you from countless mistakes and emotional storms. When you practice stillness consistently, your nervous system begins to reset. The constant fight or flight tension in your body starts to dissolve. Your thoughts slow down, your breathing deepens, and your mind becomes sharp like a blade. You stop living in reaction mode and begin to lead yourself with quiet confidence. Over time, you discover that stillness is not a place you visit. It becomes your natural state. You move through life calmly, even when the world around you is chaotic. To master stillness before action is to master the art of inner control. It is to hold power without tension, to act without haste, to live without fear. When you can pause before you move, breathe before you speak, and center yourself before you act, you no longer chase peace, you become it. And in that stillness, the mind rewires itself, effortlessly, naturally, completely. Everything you do, every word you speak, and every thought you think carries energy. That energy is shaped and directed by one force, your intention. Intention is not merely a wish or desire, it is the invisible blueprint that designs your reality. It is the quiet command that tells your mind and body where to go, what to focus on, and what to create. The Shaolin masters teach that without intention, energy scatters; with intention, it aligns. This is why understanding and harnessing the energy of intention is essential if you want to rewire your mind in just 24 hours. Most people live without conscious intention. They wake up and immediately get pulled into the noise of the world, checking messages, reacting to others, rushing through routines. Their minds are like untamed horses, running in every direction but never arriving anywhere. When you live this way, your energy leaks. You feel exhausted not because you do too much, but because you live without focus. The mind spends energy on meaningless thoughts, and the body follows aimlessly. To reclaim your energy, you must first set a clear intention. When you wake up, take a few moments to become still and decide what kind of energy you want to bring into your day. Don't think about what you have to do. Think about how you want to be while doing it. Do you want to be calm, focused, compassionate, strong? Choose one quality and anchor it deep in your awareness. This is not fantasy. It is focus. The mind begins to reorganize itself around your chosen energy, and your behavior naturally follows. Throughout the day, remind yourself of that intention. When distractions appear, bring your attention back to it. This practice trains your mind to serve you instead of control you. The Shaolin path views intention as the seed of every action. If your seed is weak, the plant will never grow. But if the seed is clear, pure, and focused, the results are inevitable. When you meditate, your breath becomes your tool to strengthen intention. With every inhale, you gather energy. With every exhale, you direct it. You begin to feel how thoughts are not just mental. They are energetic. The more you align your thoughts with your purpose, the more powerful you become. Over time, this energy of intention changes your mental wiring. Your brain stops chasing random impulses and begins to follow the path you've chosen. Scientific studies show that focused intention can reshape neural connections, reinforcing clarity, discipline, and confidence. But beyond science lies a deeper truth. When your intention is pure, the universe itself begins to cooperate. Opportunities appear, people align, and circumstances shift, not by magic, but by resonance. You attract what you are tuned into. So understand this: your mind is a garden. Every thought is a seed, every intention a direction. You can plant weeds of doubt or seeds of power. The choice is always yours. Once you start living intentionally, you stop being a victim of chance and become a creator of change. This is the essence of mental rewiring. To live each moment guided by the energy of purpose, not the chaos of habit. And when your intention is strong, even one day, one conscious day, can transform the course of your life. One of the greatest signs of mental mastery is the ability to transform reaction into response. It is the bridge between chaos and clarity, between being controlled by life and consciously shaping it. Most people do not live their lives. They react to them. Someone insults them, and they become angry. Something unexpected happens, and they panic. A single thought arises, and they spiral into anxiety. This is the automatic mind at work. A mind that has been trained by years of conditioning and emotion to act without awareness. To rewire your mind, you must first break this cycle of unconscious reaction and learn to replace it with conscious response. Reaction is impulsive, response is intentional. Reaction comes from the past, from your fears, habits, and memories. Response comes from the present, from awareness, balance, and understanding. When you react, you give your power away to circumstances. When you respond, you reclaim that power and use it wisely. The difference lies in one small moment, the pause. That moment of stillness between stimulus and action is where freedom begins. It is where you decide whether to repeat an old pattern or to create a new one. The Shaolin masters understand this principle deeply. Their training is not only physical discipline, but emotional control. When an opponent attacks, the untrained mind reacts. With anger, fear, or panic, the trained mind remains still inside. It does not fight emotion with emotion. It observes, adapts, and acts from clarity. This is why they say the strongest warrior is not the one who defeats others, but the one who conquers himself. Your real battle is not outside you. It is within. To begin transforming reaction into response, you must first cultivate awareness of your triggers. Notice when your body tightens, when your breath shortens, when your mind starts racing. These are signs that a reaction is forming. Instead of letting it control you, pause. Take one deep breath. Feel the ground beneath you. Observe the emotion without judgment. This single act of pausing rewires your brain. It shifts activity from the emotional centers to the rational parts of the mind. Over time, this habit creates space between emotion and action, giving you control over your behavior instead of being ruled by it. This transformation is not about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering it. Emotions are energy. They are neither good nor bad. Anger can become courage. Fear can become awareness. Sadness can become compassion. When you respond rather than react, you learn to redirect this energy consciously. You no longer waste it in impulsive outbursts or endless worry. You channel it into understanding, growth, and purposeful action. When you live this way, you begin to see that life is not attacking you. It is teaching you. Every situation that once triggered anger or pain becomes an opportunity to test your awareness. Each challenge becomes a mirror, showing you where your inner work is still needed. And each time you choose response over reaction, you are rewiring your mind, creating new neural pathways of calm, strength, and clarity. This is the essence of emotional mastery, to remain peaceful in chaos, patient in difficulty, and aware in temptation. The one who can respond consciously is never a victim of the world. They are its student and its master. When you live with this level of awareness, life stops pushing you around. You move with it, not against it. You stop reacting to everything that happens, and you begin creating from a place of stillness. In that moment, your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy, and your world begins to transform from the inside out. The greatest transformations in life never happen in distant dreams or future promises. They happen in a single, ordinary day that is lived with extraordinary awareness. The Shaolin philosophy teaches that discipline is not about perfection over years, it's about presence in every moment. The discipline of one day is the art of mastering the now, living today so completely, so consciously, that it becomes a mirror for the life you want to create. When you learn to master one day, you gain the power to master all days, because life is nothing more than a series of todays lived with or without awareness. People often overcomplicate transformation. They think change must take months or years, but the truth is simpler. The mind only ever exists in this day, this hour, this moment. You cannot rewire your mind in the future. You can only rewire it by how you live right now. So the question is not, what will I do for the next year? It is, how will I live this one day? Every morning you rise, you are given a blank canvas. How you think, how you move, how you speak, how you react. These are the brush strokes that paint your inner world. The discipline of one day begins with a promise to yourself. Today, I will live with awareness, stillness, and intention. You don't need to predict what will happen or control what comes. You only need to commit to being fully present for it. When you eat, taste each bite. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. When you speak, mean your words. When you listen, listen deeply, not just to respond but to understand. These simple acts, repeated through a single day, start to purify the mind. You begin to see how much energy is wasted in distraction, how often your thoughts drift into the past or future. To live with daily discipline also means to honor your routine. The Shaolin path is built on rhythm, rising early, moving with purpose, meditating in silence, training the body, and reflecting before rest. You do not need to be a monk to live this way. You only need to design your day with small rituals of mindfulness, a moment of silence upon waking, deep breathing before meals, gratitude before sleep. These rituals act as anchors that keep your mind steady in the waves of daily life. But discipline is not about rigidity. It is about consistency. It's not about never failing. It's about returning again and again. Even if your mind wanders, bring it back. Even if your energy fades, begin again. The power of discipline lies not in perfection, but in repetition. Every time you return to awareness, you strengthen the pathways of focus and peace in your brain. At the end of the day, take a few quiet moments to reflect. Ask yourself, how did I live today? Did I act with awareness or habit? Did I give more energy to peace or to chaos? This reflection transforms experience into wisdom. You end your day not just tired, but awakened, ready to live even better tomorrow. When you master the discipline of one day, you discover a secret. Life's greatest change does not come from tomorrow's plan, but from today's presence. One conscious day has the power to rewire the mind, reshape your habits, and realign your spirit. And when you can master one day, you realize that's all you ever needed to master.